So today we will start our new chapter, which is electrostatics of class 12, right? So before that, you should know that what is electricity. Basically, the energy related to charges is known as electricity or electrical energy. And any energy that is related to charges, somewhat charges, is known as electrical energy. Now, this electrical energy is further divided into two parts. The first one is electrostatics and the second is electrodynamics. When we say that electrostatics, what does that mean? Basically, it means that the charge is in rest, right? And that is known as static electricity or electrostatics, right? Then we have this electrodynamics, in which the charge is in motion and it is known as current electricity, right? Now, before moving ahead, you must know that what is charge. We are talking about the energy related to charge, the charge is in rest, the charge is in motion, but what actually is this charge? Now, charge is basically it is an intrinsic property of matter by which it can repel or attract another body. Okay, basically this charge, it is an intrinsic property. Now, what is intrinsic property? Any property that cannot be defined further. If I say you that um if I say use that pencil, you say what pencil? Which is right, but still you say what is pencil? So I can't define, right? So this is an intrinsic property of matter by which it can repel or attract another charge, right? When we talk about the symbol of charge, the capital Q is used to symbolized is as a sum of charges, right? When we talk about sum of charges, when we talk about mean, when we talk about average, then we use the capital one. But when we use the single charges, when we use point charges, we use this single small letter Q, right? Now we have the two type of charges, right? We don't have basically these types. These are not types. These are two natures of charges. The first is positive one and the second is negative one, which were first of all given by Benjamin Franklin. And we all know that opposite charges always attract. As you can see over here, this is positive, this is negative, right? And obviously the opposite charges, so they will attract, so there will be a force of attraction between them. But when we talk about the same charges, consider that these ones, this is positive, this is positive, right? These both are same charges, so obviously they will repel, there will be a force of repulsion between them, right? Then we do have the SI unit of charge is basically coulomb. And now if I say now what is coulomb, basically 1 coulomb is equal to 6.25 exponential power 18 electron. Most significantly, this charge is conserved. It means it cannot be created, neither it can be created nor it can be destroyed, right? Can't be created nor it can be destroyed, right? Now charge is basically quantized, it is fixed. If it will transfer, it will transfer from integral multiple of fundamental charge. It can transfer, but in the integral multiple of fundamental charge. Now what is this? Basically the charge on one electron, which is 1.67 exponential power minus 19 coulomb, this charge value is known as fundamental charge, and this is the minimum charge that can exist, or you can say the minimum independent charge. This is minimum independent charge. This is minimum independent charge. Basically, the total charge of an isolated system is always constant. It is not variable, it is always constant, and charge can transfer from only the integral multiple of fundamental charge, which is this, or you can say that this is the minimum independent charge, right? Now, whenever the charge will transfer, for that, in order to calculate that will this charge transfer or not, we have a formula which is Q is equal to plus minus NE. Okay, consider if I want to find out that will this one charge transfer or not. Okay, now I have this formula, then I'll put this value. The Q will be equal to this charge, and E is basically this fundamental charge. When I'll solve this, so I will get the answer 50. The 50 is an integer, so it means it can be transferred, right? Now let's talk about what is 1 coulomb. Basically, when two similar charges, as you can see over here, when two similar charges are placed in 1 meter and they are 1 meter aparted and they are placed in a vacuum, so they experience a force of repulsion which is equal to 9 exponential 9 Newton. This is known as 1 coulomb charge. Or you can say, from a conducting wire, if 6.25 x to the power 18 electron pass in 1 second, that is known as 1 coulomb charge, right? Now, charge is basically derived, but the current is fundamental quantity. One more definition of, in order to define this coulomb, is that Q is equal to I multiplied by 2 T. It means when 1 ampere current passes from a wire in 1 second, then the charge flow, or the charge may created the charge flowed from that wire is equal to 1 coulomb charge, right? So I hope this is clear to you till here. If you have any kind of queries, you can ask me in the queries. You can ask me in the comment section. I'll be really glad to answer your questions, right? So in my next video, we'll be watching out the ways to charge a body.